The Hairy Ape, a comedy of ancient and modern life, in 8 scenes. By Eugene O'Neill. Characters: Robert Smith, Yank, Patty Long. Mildred Douglas, her aunt, second engineer. A guard, a secretary of an organization. Stokers, ladies, gentlemen, etc. Scene: Scene: the fireman's forecastle of a transatlantic liner, an hour after sailing from New York for the voyage across. Tiers of narrow steel bunks, 3 deep, on all sides. An entrance in rear. Benches on the floor before the bunks. The room is crowded with men, shouting, cursing, laughing, singing. A confused, inchoate uproar swelling into a sort of unity, a meaning, the bewildered, furious, baffled defiance of a beast in a cage. Nearly all the men are drunk. Many bottles are passed from hand to hand. All are dressed in dungaree pants, heavy ugly shoes. After dides, some wear singlets, but the majority are stripped to the waist. The treatment of this scene, or of any other scene in the play, should by no means be naturalistic. The effect sought after is a cramped space in the bowels of a ship, imprisoned by white steel. The lines of bunks, the uprights supporting them, cross each other like the steel framework of a cage. The ceiling crushes down upon the men's heads. They cannot stand upright. This accentuates the natural stooping posture, which shoveling coal and the resultant overdevelopment of back and shoulder muscles have given them. The men themselves should resemble those pictures, in which the appearance of Neanderthal man is guessed at. All are hairy-chested, with long arms of tremendous power, and low receding brows above their small, fierce, resentful eyes. All the civilized white races are represented, but except for the slight differentiation in color of hair, skin, eyes, all these men are alike. The curtain rises on a tumult of sound. Yank is seated in the foreground. He seems broader, fiercer, more truculent, more powerful, more sure of himself than the rest. They respect his superior strength, the grudging respect of fear. Then, too, he represents to them a self-expression, the very last word in what they are, their most highly developed individual. Voices: Gif me trink der, you. Ava wet. Salute. Gesenheit. Skoll. Drunk as a lord, God stiffen you. Here's how. Luck. Pass back that bottle, damn you. Pouring it down his neck. Ho, Froggy, where the devil have you been? La Touraine. I hit him smashin' yaw, Pygot. Jenkins the first, he's a rotten swine. And the coppers nabbed him, and I run. I like Pier better, it don't pighead gif you. A slut I'm sayin', she robbed me asleep. To hell with 'em all. You're a bloody liar. Say dot again. Seat on port, ath, a calf, all o, seat on port, a tactor ath, r, for emotion, is they die the tector No scrappin' now. Tonight. See who's the best man. Bloody Dutchman. Tonight, on the 4-ard square. I'll bet on Dutchy. He paka da wallop, I tella you. Shut up, wop. No fightin' moddies, we're all chums, ain't we? A voice starts bawling a song, and beer, beer, glorious beer. Fill yourselves right up to here. Yanka F4, for the first time seeming to take notice of the uproar about him, turns around threateningly, in a tone of contemptuous authority. Shake off dat noise. Where'd ya get dat beer stuff? Beer hell, beer's for goils. And Dutchman, me for sompin' wid a kick to it. Gimme a drink, one of yous guys. Several bottles are eagerly offered. He takes a tremendous gulp at one of them, then, keeping the bottle in his hand, glares belligerently at the owner, who hastens to acquiesce in this robbery by saying, "All righto, Yank, keep it and have another." Yank contemptuously turns his back on the crowd again. For a second, There is an embarrassed silence. Then, I. Voices. We must be passing the hook. She's beginning to roll to it. 6 days in hell, and then Southampton. Pa Jesus, I vish somebody take my first vatch for me. Gettin' seasick, squarehead. Drink up and forget it. Whiskey, that's the ticket. Where's Patty? Going asleep. Sing us that whiskey song, Patty. He's gettin' old. The drink is too much for him. He's too drunk. Patty, blinking about him, starts to his feet resentfully, swaying, holding on to the edge of a bunk. I'm never too drunk to sing. It's only when I'm dead to the world I'd be wishful to sing at all. With a sort of sad contempt. Now that's a queer wish from the ugly like of you, God help you, but no matter. H.A. starts to sing in a thin, nasal, doleful tone. Oh, whiskey is the life of man. Whiskey, oh Johnny. They all join in on this. N.A. 6. Oh, whiskey is the life of man. Whiskey for my Johnny. Oh, whiskey drove. Oh, whiskey drove my old man mad. Whiskey, oh Johnny. Oh, whiskey drove my old man mad. Whiskey for my Johnny. Yank, again turning around scornfully. Ah, hell, nix on dat old sailing ship stuff. All dat bull's dead, see? And you're dead too, ya damned old harp. Only ya don't know it. Take it easy, see? Give us a rest. Nix on de loud noise. Et's with a cynical grin. All, repeating the word after him as one with same cynical, amused mockery. I stoled, 40 store. R40, 16, 40 stowed, test, tor, R40, 6 tor, tord, 20 unveiled, 22, doll, pwelt, tord, R40, as if their throats were phonograph horns. It is followed by a general uproar of hard barking laughter. Voices. Don't be cracking your head wid a yank. You gat headache, pa yingo. One thing about it, it rhymes with drink. Ha ha. Drink, don't think. Drink, don't think. Drink, don't think. A whole chorus of voices has taken up this refrain, stamping on the floor, pounding on the benches with fists. Yank, staking a gulp from his bottle, good-naturedly. Oh, right. Good day noise. I got ya day foist time. The uproar subsides. A very drunken, sentimental tenor begins to sing. Far away in Canada, far across the sea, there's a lass who fondly waits, making a home for me. Yank, fiercely contemptuous. Or, shut up, ya lousy boob, where'd ya get dit tripe? Home? Home, hell. I'll make a home for ya. I'll knock ya dead. Home was lickings for me, dat's all. But ya can bet you should, no one ain't never licked me since. Want ter try it, any of yous? I guess not, in a more placated but still contemptuous tone. Whiles waitin' for ya, huh? Aw, hell, dat's all tripe. Dey don't wait for no one, dey double-cross ya for a nickel. They're all tarts, get me? Treat 'em rough, dat's me. To hell wid 'em. Tarts, dat's what, de whole bunch of 'em. Long day, very drunk, jumps on a bench excitedly, gesticulating with a bottle in his hand. Listen 'ere, comrades, Yank air is right. E says this 'ere stinkin' ship is our 'ome, and E says as 'ome is L, and E's right. This is L. We lives in L, comrades, and right enough we'll die in it. C. And who's ter blame? I are Skazier. We ain't. We wasn't born this rotten way. All men is born free and equal. That's in the bleedin' Bible, mateys. But what dey care for the Bible? Them lazy bloated swine, what travels first cabin, them's the ones. They dragged us down till we're only wage slaves in the bowels of a bloody ship, sweatin', burnin' up, eatin' coal dust. It's them's ter blame, the damned capitalist clares. There had been a gradual murmur of contemptuous resentment rising among the men, until now he is interrupted by a storm of catcalls, hisses, boos, hard laughter. Voices, turn it off. Shut up. Sit down. Closa da fies. Tam fool, etc. Yank, standing up and glaring at Long. Sit down before I knock you down. Long makes haste to efface himself. Yank goes on contemptuously. The Bible, huh? The capitalist class, huh? All nix on dat Salvation Army. Socialist bull. Get a soapbox. Hire a hall. Come and be saved, huh? Jerk us to Jesus, huh? Air a hall. I've listened to lots of guys like you see yeah all wrong. Want to know what I think? Yeah, ain't no good for no one. Yeah, debunk. Yeah, ain't got no naive, get me? Yeah, yellow, that's what. Yellow, that's you. Say. What's dim slobs in the foist cabin got to do with us? We're better men than they are, ain't we? Sure. One of us guys could clean up the whole mob with one mitt. Put one of 'em down here for one watch into Stokehole. What happened? They'd carry 'em off on a stretcher. Dem boys don't amount to nothin'. They're just baggage. Who makes this old tub run? Ain't it us guys? Well then, we belong, don't we? We belong and they don't. That's all. A loud chorus of approval. Yank goes on. As for dis bein' hell, aw nuts. Ya lost your noive, that's what. Dis is a man's job, get me? It belongs. It runs dis tub. No stiffs need apply. But you're a stiff, see? You're yellow, that's you. Voices, with a great hard pride in them. Oh, on my buy. Righto. A man's job. Talk is cheap, Long. He never could hold up his end. Divil take him. Yank's right. We make it go. Pie got, Yank say right ting. We don't need no one cryin' over us. Makin' speeches. Throw him out. Yellow. Chuck him overboard. I'll break his jaw for him. And they crowd around Long threateningly. Yank, half good-natured again, contemptuously. Ates, take it easy. Leave him alone. He ain't with a punch. Drink up. Here's how, whoever owns dis. He takes a long swallow from his bottle. All drink with him. Patty, who has been sitting in a blinking, melancholy daze, suddenly cries out in a voice full of old sorrow. We belong to this, you're saying. We make the ship to go, you're saying. Yera then, that Almighty God have pity on us. Strong 14 action. His voice runs into the wail of a keen. His voice runs into the wail of a keen. Whirled, the John Bach. The men stare at him, startled and impressed in spite of themselves. Oh, to be back in the fine days of my youth. Okane. Oh, there was fine beautiful ships them days. Clippers wid tall masts touching the sky. Fine strong men in them. Men that was sons of the sea. As if 'twas the mother that bore them. Oh, the clean skins of them, and the clear eyes, the straight backs and full chests of them. Brave men they was, and bold men surely. We'd be sailing out, bound down round the Horn maybe. We'd be making sail in the dawn, with a fair breeze, singing a chanty song, wid no care to it. And astern, the land would be sinking low and dying out, but we'd give it no heed but a laugh, and never a look behind. For the day that was enough, for we was free men. And I'm thinking, 'tis only slaves do be giving heed to the day that's gone, or the day to come, until they're old like me, with a sort of religious exaltation. Oh, to be scudding south again, with the power of the trade wind, driving her on steady through the nights and the days, full sail on her. Nights and days, nights when the foam of the wake would be flaming wid fire, when the sky'd be blazing and winking wid stars, or the full of the moon maybe. Then you'd see her driving through the gray night, her sails stretching aloft all silver and white, not a sound on the deck, the lot of us dreaming dreams, till you'd believe 'twas no real ship at all you was on, but a ghost ship like the Flying Dutchman they say does be roaming the seas forevermore. It called Dussing, for ridge, aloft off, and there was the days, too. A warm sun on the clean decks, sun warming the blood of you, and wind over the miles of shiny green ocean like strong drink to your lungs. Work, aye, hard work, but who'd mind that at all? Sure, you worked under the sky and 'twas work, with skill and daring to it. And with the day done, and the dog watch, smoking me pipe at ease, the lookout would be raising land maybe, and we'd see the mountains of South America, with the red fire of the setting sun, painting their white tops and the clouds floating by them. His tone of exaltation ceases. He goes on mournfully. Exi, Yera, what's the use of talking? 'Tis a dead man's whisper, to Yank resentfully. Was them days men belonged to ships, not now. 'Twas them days a ship was part of the sea, and a man was part of a ship, and the sea joined all together and made it one. Is it one with this you'd be Yank, black smoke from the funnels smudging the sea, smudging the decks, the bloody engines pounding and throbbing and shaking, wid divil a sight of sun or a breath of clean air, choking our lungs wid coal dust, breaking our backs and hearts in the hell of the stokehole, feeding the bloody furnace, feeding our lives along with the coal. I'm thinking, caged in by steel from a sight of the sky like bloody apes in the zoo. Is away a poits, with a harsh laugh. Ho ho, divil mend you, is it to belong to that you're wishing? Is it a flesh and blood wheel of the engines you'd be? Yank, who has been listening with a contemptuous sneer, barks out the answer. Sure ting, jot's me, what about it? Paddy, as if to himself, with great sorrow. Me time is past due, that a great wave-wid sun in the heart of it may sweep me over the side, sometime I'd be dreaming of the days that's gone. Yank. Ah, ya crazy Mick. He springs to his feet and advances on Paddy threateningly, then stops, fighting some queer struggle within himself, lets his hands fall to his sides, contemptuously. Oh, take it easy. Ya ha right at dat. Ya har bugs, that's all. All dat tripe ya been pullin', that's all right. Only it's dead, get me? You don't belong no more, see? You don't get the stuff. You're too old, disgustedly. But say, come up for air onct in a while, can't you? See what's happened since you croaked. He suddenly burst forth vehemently, growing more and more excited. Say, sure, I meant it. What the hell, say, let me talk. Hey, you old harp. Hey, yous guys, say, listen to me. Wait a moment, I gotta talk. Say, I belong and he don't. He's dead, but I'm livin'. Listen to me. Sure, I'm part of de engines. Why the hell not? Dey move, don't dey? 25 knots a hour. Dat's goin' some. Dat's new stuff. Dat belongs. But him, he's too old. He gets dizzy. Say, listen, all dat crazy tripe about nights and days, all dat crazy tripe about stars and moons, all dat crazy tripe about suns and winds, fresh air and the rest of it, hell, dat's all a dope dream. Hittin' de pipe of de past, dat's what he's doin'. He's old and don't belong no more. But me, I'm young, I'm in de pink, I move wid it. I yet, get me. I mean de ting dat's de guts of all dis. It plows dry all de tripe he's been sayin'. It blows dat up. It knocks dat dead. It slams dat off in de face of de oith. De engines, and de coal, and de smoke, and all de rest of it. He can't breathe and swallow coal dust, but I can, see? Well, dey take fresh air for me. Date's fresh air for me. I'm new, get me? Hell in de stokehole. Sure, it takes a man to work in hell. Hell, sure. Date's my favorite climate. I eat it up. I get fat on it. It's me makes it hot. It's me makes it roar. It's me makes it move. Sure, Ani, for me everything stops. It all goes dead, get me? De noise and smoke and all de engines movin' de wild to stop. There ain't nothin' no more. Dat's what I'm sayin'. Everything else that makes the wild move, something makes it move. Den you get down to me. I'm at the bottom, get me. There ain't nothin' further. I'm the end, I'm the start. I start something and the wild moves. That's me. The new dat's moiterin' the old. I'm de ting and coal dat makes it boin. I'm steam and oil for de engines. I'm de ting and noise dat makes ya hear it. I'm smoke and express trains and steamers and factory whistles. I'm de ting and gold dat makes it money. And I'm what makes iron into steel. Steel, dat stands for de whole ting. And I'm steel, steel, steel. I'm the muscles and steel, the punch behind it. As he says this, he pounds with his fist against the steel bunks. All the men, roused to a pitch of frenzied self-glorification by his speech, do likewise. There is a deafening metallic roar, through which Yank's voice can be heard bellowing. All the rich guys that think they're summin', they ain't nothin', they don't belong, but us guys, we're in the move, we're at the bottom, the whole ting is us. Paddy, from the start of Yank's speech, has been taking one gulp after another from his bottle, at first frighteningly, as if he were afraid to listen, then desperately as if to drown his senses, but finally has achieved complete indifferent, even amused, drunkenness. Yank sees his lips moving. He quells the uproar with a shout. Oh, Shia, oh, hey, yous guys, take it easy. Wait a moment. Oh, Shia. Oh, Shia. And something. Paddy Swide is heard now, throws his head back with a mocking burst of laughter. Ho 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 ho. 66th, Surifile bang, and land, drawing back his fist, with a snarl. Aw, look out who you're givin' the bark. Paddy begins to sing The Mooler of D with enormous good nature. I care for nobody, no, not I, and nobody cares for me. Yanka good-natured himself in a flash, interrupts Paddy with a slap on the bare back like a report. Dat's de stuff, now you're gettin' wise to somethin'. Care for nobody, dat's de dope. To hell with 'em all. And nix on nobody else carin'. 8 bells sound muffled, vibrating through the steel walls, as if some enormous brazen gong were embedded in the heart of the ship. All the men jump up mechanically, file through the door, silently close upon each other's heels in what is very like a prisoner's lockstep. Yank slaps Paddy on the back. Stay, our watch, ya old harp. Oh, mockingly, to bellow, stay, it is ang. First, stay I, come on down in hell, eat up de coal dust, drink in de heat. It's it, see? Ig like ya liked it, ya better, or croak yourself. Paddy, with jovial defiance, sweeto, to the divil wid it, I'll not report this watch, let them log me and be damned, I'm no slave the like of you, I'll be sittin' here at me ease, and drinking, and thinking, and dreaming dreams. Yank it, sick, sextinguously. I ain't gickin' and dreamin', what'll that get ya, extinkin' got to do wid it, extinja dakin ixtyin' for. We move, don't we? Speed, ain't it? Fog, dat's all you stand for. But we drive true dat, don't we? We split dat up and smash true. 25 knots a hour. Aka turns his back on Paddy scornfully. Aw, ya make me sick. His don't belong. I starts out the door and rear. Paddy hums to himself, blinking drowsily. Nuh. IWO, to accept. Scene E. Scene. 2 days out. A section of the promenade deck. Mildred Douglas and her aunt are discovered reclining in deck chairs. The former is a girl of 20, slender, delicate, with a pale, pretty face, marred by a self-conscious expression of disdainful superiority. She looks fretful, nervous, and discontented, bored by her own anemia. Her aunt is a pompous and proud and fat old lady. She is a type even to the point of a double chin and lorgnettes. She is dressed pretentiously, as if afraid her face alone would never indicate her position in life. Mildred is dressed all in white. The impression to be conveyed by this scene is one of the beautiful, vivid life of the sea all about, sunshine on the deck in a great flood, the fresh sea wind blowing across it. In the midst of this, these two incongruous artificial figures, inert and disharmonious, the elder like a gray lump of dough touched up with rouge, the younger looking as if the vitality of her stock had been sapped before she was conceived, so that she is the expression not of its life energy, but merely of the artificialities that energy had won for itself in the spending. Mildred, looking up with affected dreaminess, Hiswall, how the black smoke swirls back against the sky. Is it not beautiful? Aunt, without looking up, I dislike smoke of any kind. Mildred, my great-grandmother smoked a pipe, a clay pipe. Aunt Stree, ruffling, vulgar, vulgar. Mildred, she was too distant a relative to be vulgar. Time mellows pipes. Aunt, pretending boredom but irritated. I did the sociology you took up at college teach you that, to play the ghoul on every possible occasion, excavating old bones. Why not let your great-grandmother rest in her grave? Mildred, dreamily, with her pipe beside her, puffing in paradise. Aunt A, with spite, to Mars. Yes, you are a natural-born ghoul. You are even getting to look like one, my dear. Mildred, in a passionless tone. I detest you, Aunt. Looking at her critically. Aunt's tear, with a bitter laugh. Ah, merci for your candor. But since I am and must be your chaperone, in appearance at least, let us patch up some sort of armed truce. For my part, you are quite free to indulge any pose of eccentricity that beguiles you, as long as you observe the amenities. Mildred, drawling, and, too, the inanities. Aunt, going on as if she hadn't heard. A starkring ballisting grendating, allo benening a starkring ballisticod, or prizing ballistic on rendane, everyday Japanese of the circring fordod, achterjockring garzing 2 wells, allo starkring was corning got away, I jockring guard, one though starkring on as if she hadn't heard. Well, I hope Whitechapel will provide the needed nerve tonic. Do not ask me to chaperone you there, however. I told your father I would not. I loathe deformity. We will hire an army of detectives, and you may investigate everything they allow you to see. Mildred, protesting with a trace of genuine earnestness. Is the members, please do not mock at my attempts to discover how the other half lives. Give me credit for some sort of groping sincerity in that at least. I would like to help them. I would like to be some use in the world. Is it my fault I don't know how? I would like to be sincere, to touch life somewhere, and endo with weary bitterness. I redo, but I'm afraid I have neither the vitality nor integrity, all that was burnt out in our stock before I was born. Grandfather's blast furnaces, flaming to the sky, melting steel, making millions. Then father keeping those home fires burning, making more millions, and little me at the tail end of it all. I'm a waste product in the Bessemer process, like the millions, or rather, I inherit the acquired trait of the byproduct. Wealth, but none of the energy, none of the strength of the steel that made it. I am sired by gold and darned by it, as they say at the racetrack. Damned in more ways than one. Aunt, unimpressed, superciliously. Wanian, superciliously. Shanyin, hi, Shanyin, 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 Shanyu, Shanyin. Or, crating, it isn't becoming to you really. Okay den, Han, artificial as you are, I advise. Shanyin, Shanyu, Arnin, Garte, Arnin, Hornino, Arni. But, and, Mildred, again, affected and bored. I come. Yes, I suppose I do. Pardon me for my outburst. When a leopard complains of its spots, it must sound rather grotesque. In a mocking tone. Over you, searches, over you. I come, PRW4W. Burr, scratch, tear, kill, gorge yourself and be happy. Only stay in the jungle. In a cage, they make you conspicuous. Aunt, I don't know what you are talking about. Mildred, it would be rude to talk about anything to you. Let's just talk, Ed. She looks at her wristwatch. Well, thank goodness, it's about time for them to come for me. That ought to give me a new thrill, Aunt. Aunt, Severed Eyes, affectedly troubled. Severed Eyes, you don't mean to say you're really going? The dirt, the heat must be frightful. Mildred, grandfather, started as a puddler. I should have inherited an immunity to heat that would make a salamander shiver. It will be fun to put it to the test. Aunt, but don't you have to have the captain's or someone's permission to visit the stokehole? Mildred, with a triumphant smile, I have it, both his and the chief engineer's. Oh, they didn't want to at first, in spite of my social service credentials. They didn't seem a bit anxious that I should investigate how the other half lives and works on a ship. So I had to tell them that my father, the president of Nazareth Steel, chairman of the board of directors of this line, had told me it would be all right. Aunt, he didn't. Mildred, how naive age makes one. But I said he did, Aunt. I even said he had given me a letter to them, which I had lost, and they were afraid to take the chance that I might be lying. And here he comes, I think. The second engineer enters. He is a husky, fine-looking man of 35 or so. He stops before the two and tips his cap, visibly embarrassed and ill at ease. Second engineer, Miss Douglas. Mildred, yes. All throwing off her rugs and getting to her feet. Are we all ready to start? Second engineer, in just a second, ma'am. I'm waiting for the fourth. He's coming along. Mildred, taster, with a scornful smile. You don't care to shoulder this responsibility alone, is that it? Second engineer, forcing a smile. Two are better than one. Disturbed by her eyes, glances out to sea, blurts out. A fine day we're having. Mildred, is it? Second engineer, a nice warm breeze. Mildred, it feels cold to me. Second engineer, but it's hot enough in the sun. Mildred, not hot enough for me. I don't like nature. I was never athletic. Second engineer, forcing a smile. Well, you'll find it hot enough where you're going. Mildred, do you mean hell? Second engineer, flabbergasted, decides to laugh. Ho ho, no, I mean the stokehole. No, I mean the stokehole. Mildred, my grandfather was a puddler. He played with boiling steel. Second engineer, all at sea uneasily. Is that so? Seg. Whiz, that so? You'll excuse me, ma'am, but are you intending to wear that dress? Mildred, why not? Second engineer, you'll likely rub against oil and dirt. It can't be helped. Mildred, it doesn't matter. I have lots of white dresses. Second engineer, I have an old coat you might throw over. Mildred, I have 50 dresses like this. I will throw this one into the sea when I come back. That ought to wash it clean, don't you think? Second engineer, doggedly. There's ladders to climb down that are none too clean, and dark alleyways. Mildred, I will wear this very dress and none other. Second engineer, no offense meant. It's none of my business. I was only warning you. Mildred, warning? That sounds thrilling. Second engineer, looking down the deck, with a sigh of relief. Ipperstun. All the none. Dacing. There's the fourth now. He's waiting for us, if you'll come. Mildred, go on. I'll follow you. He goes. Mildred turns a mocking smile on her aunt. Each an oaf, but a handsome, virile oaf. Aunt, scornfully, Oh, Pazer, Singer. Mildred, take care, he said there were dark alleyways. Aunt, in the same tone. Poser, Singer, Bozer. Mildred, biting her lips angrily. You are right, but would that my millions were not so anemically chaste. Aunt, yes, for a fresh pose. I have no doubt you would drag the name of Douglas in the gutter. Mildred, from which it sprang. Goodbye, Aunt. Don't pray too hard that I may fall into the fiery furnace. Aunt Poser. Mildred, viciously. Old hag, old hag. Aunt screams after her. I said Poser, I said Poser. I see curtain. Scene I. Scene, the stokehole. In the rear, the dimly outlined bulks of the furnaces and boilers. High overhead, one hanging electric bulb sheds just enough light through the murky air, laden with coal dust, to pile up masses of shadows everywhere. A line of men, stripped to the waist, is before the furnace doors. They bend over, looking neither to right nor left, handling their shovels as if they were part of their bodies, with a strange, awkward, swinging rhythm. They use the shovels to throw open the furnace doors. Then from these fiery round holes in the black, a flood of terrific light and heat pours full upon the men who are outlined in silhouette in the crouching, inhuman attitudes of chained gorillas. The men shovel with a rhythmic motion, swinging as on a pivot from the coal, which lies in heaps on the floor behind, to hurl it into the flaming mouths before them. There is a tumult of noise, the brazen clang of the furnace doors as they are flung open or slammed shut, the grating, teeth-gritting grind of steel against steel, of crunching coal. This clash of sounds stuns one's ears with its rending dissonance. But there is order in it, rhythm, a mechanical regulated recurrence, a tempo, and rising above all, making the air hum with the quiver of liberated energy. The roar of leaping flames in the furnaces, the monotonous throbbing beat of the engines. As the curtain rises, the furnace doors are shut. The men are taking a breathing spell. One or two are arranging the coal behind them, pulling it into more accessible heaps. The others can be dimly made out, leaning on their shovels in relaxed attitudes of exhaustion. Patty, from somewhere in the line, plaintively, Yera, will this Dibble's own watch never end? Me back is broke, I'm destroyed entirely. Yank, from the center of the line, with exuberant scorn. Aw, yeah, make me sick, lie down and croak, why don't ya? Always beefin', dat you. EC cinch, DC's a cinch, Dece was made for me. It's my meat, get me. 8 dares the damn engineer crackin' de whip, he tinks we're loafin', Patty, vindictively, and CAG, God stiffen him. Yankin' an exultant tone of command, fire. Come on, yous guys. All yous guys. Get into de game. She's gettin' hungry. Pile some grub in her. Throw it into her belly. Come on now, all of yous. Open her up. The fiery light floods over their shoulders as they bend round for the coal. Rivulets of sooty sweat have traced maps on their backs. The enlarged muscles form bunches of high light and shadow. Yank, chanting a count as he shovels without seeming effort. 1, 2, 3, 1 pp Sue, his voice rising exultantly in the joy of battle. He dat's de stuff. Let her have it. All together now. Sling it into her. Let her ride. Shoot to piece now. Call de Tuan on her. Drive her into it. Feel her move. Watch her smoke. Speed, dat's her middle name. Give her coal, yous guys. Coal, dat's her booze. Drink it up, baby. Let's see ya sprint. Dig in and gain a lap. Dare she go, oh, is this last in the chanting formula of the gallery gods at the 6-day bike race. He slams his furnace door shut. The others do likewise, with as much unison as their wearied bodies will permit. The effect is of one fiery eye after another being blotted out with a series of accompanying bangs. Paddy groaning, Paddy, me back is broke. I'm bait out, bait, well, there is a pause. And then the inexorable whistle sounds again from the dim regions above the electric light, and the assevered under regions above the electric light. Well, for jing. Again from all sides. Yank, shaking his fist upward contemptuously. Is true, take it easy dare you. Who'd I, tink's runnin' dis game, me or you? When I get ready, we move. Not before, when I get ready, get me. Voices, and, approvingly. Yeah. Yank tell him, pie golly. Yank ain't afeard. Goot poi, Yank. Give him hell. Tell him he's a bloody swine. Bloody slave driver. Yank, see contemptuously. He ain't got no noive, he's yellow get me, all de engineers is yellow. Dey got streaks a mile wide. Aw, to hell with him. Let's move yous guys. We had a rest. Come on, she needs it. Give her pep. It ain't for him. Him and his whistle, they don't belong. Him and his whistle, they don't belong. But we belong, see? We gotta feed the baby. Come on. He turns and flings his furnace door open. They all follow his lead. At this instant, the second and fourth engineers enter from the darkness on the left, with Mildred between them. She starts, turns paler, her pose is crumbling, she shivers with fright in spite of the blazing heat, but forces herself to leave the engineers and take a few steps nearer the men. She is right behind Yank. All this happens quickly while the men have their backs turned. Yank, come on yous guys. He is turning to get coal when the whistle sounds again in a peremptory, irritating note. This drives Yank into a sudden fury. While the other men have turned full around and stopped dumbfounded by the spectacle of Mildred standing there in her white dress, Yank does not turn far enough to see her. Besides, his head is thrown back. He blinks upward through the murk, trying to find the owner of the whistle. He brandishes his shovel murderously over his head in one hand, pounding on his chest, gorilla-like, with the other, shouting, "Fruit, want off dat whistle. Come down and I'll knock ya brains out. Ya lousy stinkin' yellow mutt of a Catholic moiterin' bastard. Come down and I'll moiter ya. Pullin' dat whistle on me, huh? I'll show ya. I'll crash your skull in. I'll drive your teats down your throat. I'll slam your nose tro the back of your head. I'll cut your guts out for a nickel, ya lousy boob. Ya dirty, crummy, muck-eaten son of a... Suddenly, he becomes conscious of all the other men staring at something directly behind his back. He whirls defensively with a snarling, murderous growl, crouching to spring, his lips drawn back over his teeth, his small eyes gleaming ferociously. He sees Mildred, like a white apparition in the full light from the open furnace doors. He glares into her eyes, turned to stone. As for her, during his speech she has listened, paralyzed with horror, terror, her whole personality crushed, beaten in, collapsed, by the terrific impact of this unknown abysmal brutality, naked and shameless. As she looks at his gorilla face, as his eyes bore into hers, she utters a low, choking cry and shrinks away from him, putting both hands up before her eyes to shut out the sight of his face, to protect her own. This startles Yank to a reaction. His mouth falls open. His eyes grow bewildered. Mildred, about to faint, to the engineers, who now have her one by each arm, whimperingly, "Take me away. Oh, the filthy beast." She faints. She faints. They carry her quickly back, disappearing in the darkness at the left rear. An iron door clangs shut. Rage and bewildered fury rush back on Yank. He feels himself insulted in some unknown fashion in the very heart of his pride. He roars, "God damn ya!" and hurls his shovel after them at the door, which has just closed. It hits the steel bulkhead with a clang, and falls clattering on the steel floor. From overhead, the whistle sounds again in a long, angry, insistent command. Stepped and no. Scene IV. Scene, the fireman's forecastle. Yank's watch has just come off duty and had dinner. Their faces and bodies shine from a soap and water scrubbing, but around their eyes, where a hasty dousing does not touch, the coal dust sticks like black makeup, giving them a queer, sinister expression. Yank has not washed either face or body. He stands out in contrast to them, a blackened, brooding figure. He is seated forward on a bench in the exact attitude of Rodin's The Thinker. The others, most of them smoking pipes, are staring at Yank half apprehensively, as if fearing an outburst, half amusedly, as if they saw a joke somewhere that tickled them. Voices. He ain't ate nothin'. Pie golly, a faller gat grub in him. Divil a lie. Yank, feeded a fire, no feeded a face. Ha ha. He ain't even washed hisself. He's forgot. Hey Yank, you forgot to wash. Yank, sullenly, forgot nothin', to hell wit washin'. Voices. It'll stick to you, it'll get under your skin. Give yer the bleedin' itch, that's what. It makes spots on you. Like a leopard. Like a piebald nigger, you mean. Better wash up, Yank. Wash up, Yank. Yank, resentfully. Aw say, yous guys, lemme alone. Can't you see I'm trying to tink? All, repeating the word after him as one with cynical mockery. Think. Thinks if the word has a brazen metallic quality, as if their throats were phonograph horns. It is followed by a chorus of hard, barking laughter. Yank, springing to his feet and glaring at them belligerently. Well, ofters, yes, tink, that's what I said. What about it? Voices. Leave him alone. He's got a grouch on. Why wouldn't he? Patty, with a wink at the others. All, sure, I know what's the matter. 'Tis aisy to see. He's fallen in love, I'm telling you. All, repeating the word after him as one with cynical mockery. Oh love. Oh love. The word has a brazen metallic quality, as if their throats were phonograph horns. It is followed by a chorus of hard, barking laughter. Yank, with a contemptuous snort. Love, hell, sectors, only, section, 4, section, Jane, circle, with a contemptuous, section, I Yank, with a contemptuous snort. Patty, philosophically, would take a wise man to tell one from the other, with a bitter, ironical scorn, increasing as he goes on, but I'm telling you it's love that's in it. Sure, what else but love for us poor bastes in the stokehole would be bringing a fine lady, dressed like a white queen, down a mile of ladders and steps to be having a look at us. Long, jumping on a bench, hectically. I hinsultin' us, the bloody cow, and them bloody engineers. What right has they got to be exhibitin' us, as if we was bleedin' monkeys in a menagerie? Did we sign for hinsults to our dignity as honest workers? But I knows why they done it. I arst a deck steward, she was, and he told me. First and meetin' millionaire, a bloody capitalist, he's got enough bloody gold to sink this bleedin' ship. He makes arf the bloody steel in the world. He owns this bloody boat. And you and me, comrades, we're his slaves. And the skipper and mates and engineers, they're his slaves. And she's his bloody daughter, and we're all their slaves too. And she gives her orders as 'ow she wants to see the bloody animals below decks, and down they takes her. There is a roar of rage from all sides. Yank, blinking at him bewilderedly. Wait a moment, is all dat straight goods? Long straight as string. The bleedin' steward as waits on 'em. He told me about her. And what were we going ter do, I arsks yer. I've we got ter swaller our hinsults like dogs. It ain't in the ship's articles. I tell yer we got a case. We kin go ter law. Yank, for, with abysmal contempt, he hell, law. All left, repeating the word after him as one with cynical mockery, as, a law. A left, two, a one. Is two, the word has a brazen metallic quality, as if their throats were phonograph horns. It is followed by a chorus of hard, barking laughter. Long, feeling the ground slipping from under his feet, desperately, as voters and citizens we kin force the bloody governments. Yank, with abysmal contempt, he hell, governments. All lee, repeating the word after him as one with cynical mockery. One none, O governments. Exam. One none. One none. The word has a brazen metallic quality as if their throats were phonograph horns. It is followed by a chorus of hard, barking laughter, as time fashion. Long, hysterically. We're free and equal in the sight of God. Say yank, with abysmal contempt. Say, hull, God. All, repeating the word after him, as one with cynical mockery. Extend, work a God, work a cad. All the word has a brazen metallic quality, as if their throats were phonograph horns. It is followed by a chorus of hard barking laughter. Yank call, witheringly, and, joined the Salvation Army. All, sit down, shut up, damn fool. See lawyer. Long slinks back out of sight. Paddy, COS, continuing the trend of his thoughts as if he had never been interrupted. Bitterly. We roast them in their own sweat, and be damned if you won't hear some of them saying they like it. Who'll, he glances scornfully at Yank. Yank, with a bewildered, uncertain growl. Zo. Paddy, and there was Yank roaring curses, and turning round wid his shovel to brain her, and she looked at him, and him at her. Yank, slowly, sigh Priors, she was all white, I thought she was a ghost, sure. Paddy with heavy, biting sarcasm. 'Twas love at first sight, dibble a doubt of it. If you'd seen the endearin' look on her pale mug when she shriveled away with her hands over her eyes to shut out the sight of him. Sure, 'twas as if she'd seen a great hairy ape escaped from the zoo. Yank, stung, with a growl of rage. Paddy, and the loving way Yank heaved his shovel at the skull of her, only she was out the door, Cavalier and Shover in train, 2A grin breaking over his face. Oh one, 'twas touching I'm telling you. It put the touch of home, swat home in the stokehole. Oh Billier and Jover, there is a roar of laughter from all. Yank, glaring at Paddy menacingly. All, choked that off, see? Paddy, not heeding him, to the others, and her grabbing at the second's arm for protection, with a grotesque imitation of a woman's voice. Kiss me, engineer dear, for it's dark down here, and me, old man's in Wall Street, making money. Hug me tight, darlin', for I'm afeard in the dark, and me mother's on deck making eyes at the skipper. Another roar of laughter. Yank, threateningly. Okay, say, what ya tryin' to do, kid me? Okay, old harp? Paddy DeVille a bit. Ain't I wishin' myself you'd brained her? Yank, see ya. I'll brain her yet. Wait and see ya. See ya. Slowly. Paddy, she looked it at you if she didn't say the word itself. Yankajank horribly. Hairy ape, huh? Sure. That's the way she looked at me. All right, hairy ape, so that's me, huh? Bursting into rage, as if she were still in front of him. Yeah, skinny tart. I was bawlin' him out for pullin' the whistle on us. You heard me. And den I seen you's lookin' at somethin', and I thought he'd sneak down to come up in back of me, and I hopped round to knock him dead with the shovel. And there she was with the light on her. Christ, ya could have pushed me over with a finger. I was scared. Get me? Sure. I thought she was a ghost. See, she was all in white like they wrap around stiffs. You seen her. Kanya, blame me, she didn't belong, that's what. And then when I come to and seen it was a real scoit, and seen the way she was looking at me, like Patty said. Christ, I was sore, get me. I don't stand for that stuff from nobody. And I flung the shovel only she'd beat it. Furiously, I wished it had banged her, I wished it had knocked her block off. Long. And be hanged for murder or electrocuted. She ain't bleedin' well worth it. Yank, I don't give a damn what. I'd be square with her, wouldn't I? Tink I wanter let her put somethin' over on me. Tink I'm goin' to let her get away with that stuff. Ya don't know me. No one ain't never put nothin' over on me and got away with it, see? Not that kind of stuff. Maybe she'll come down again. Voice. No chance, Yank. You scared her out of a year's growth. Yank, I scared her? Why the hell should I scare her? Who the hell is she? Ain't she the same as me? Hairy ape, huh? With his old confident bravado. I'll show her I'm better'n her, if she only knew it. I belong, and she don't, see? She's only baggage, sure, again bewilderedly. But, Christ, she was funny lookin'. Did you pipe her hands? White and skinny. Yeah, could see the bones trough 'em. And her mush, dat was dead white too. And her eyes, they was like they'd seen a ghost. Me, dat was. Sure, hairy ape, ghost, huh? Hairy ape, ghost, huh? Look at dat arm. Exends his right arm, swelling out the great muscles. Azz, ig coulda took her wit dat, wit just my little finger even, and broke her in two. Again bewilderedly, Swat, swatade, oh swatade, huh, what is she? What she come from? Who made her? Who give her de noive to look at me like dat? Dese tings got my goat right. I didn't get her, she's new to me. What does a scoit like her mean, huh? She don't belong, get me. I can't see her, with growing anger. But one ting I'm wise to. All right. Yous all can bet your shoots. I'll get even with her. I'll show her if she tinks she grinds the organ, and I'm on the string, huh? I'll fix her. Let her come down again, and I'll fling her into furnace. She'll move, Dan. She won't shiver at nothin', Dan. Speed, that'll be her. She'll belong, Dan. Real. Herging grins horribly. Patty, she'll never come. She's had her belly full, I'm tellin' you. She'll be in bed now, I'm thinkin', wid 10 doctors and nurses feedin' her salts to clean the fear out of her. Yank, all lages, ya waste, tank. I made her sick too, do ya? Just lookin' at me, huh? Query ape, huh? All leaged, in a frenzy of rage. I'll fix her. I'll tell her where to get off. She'll get down on her knees and take it back, or I'll bust a face off'n her. I'm comin', die you hear? I'll fix ya, goddamn ya. He makes a rush for the door. Bye, sigh. Voices, stop him. He'll get shot. He'll murder her. Trip him up. Hold him. He's gone crazy. He's strong. Hold him down. Look out for a kick. Pin his arms. They have all piled on him and, after a fierce struggle, by sheer weight of numbers, have borne him to the floor just inside the door. Patty, who has remained detached, cape him down till he's cooled off, but scornfully, but stall, stally half. You're a jock, you're a great fool. Is it paying attention at all you are to the like of that skinny sow without one drop of rail blood in her? Yankee, frenziedly, from the bottom of the heap. She done me doit, didn't she? I'll get square with her. I'll get her some way. Get off in me, yous guys. Let me up. I'll show her who's a abe. Aid 6 Churton. Scene V. Scene 3 weeks later. A corner of Fifth Avenue in the 50s, on a fine Sunday morning, a general atmosphere of clean, well-tidied, wide street, a flood of mellow-tempered sunshine, gentle, genteel breezes. In the rear, the show windows of 2 shops, a jewelry establishment on the corner, a furrier's next to it. Here, the adornments of extreme wealth are tantalizingly displayed. The jeweler's window is gaudy with glittering diamonds, emeralds, rubies, pearls, etc., fashioned in ornate tiaras, crowns, necklaces, collars, etc. From each piece hangs an enormous tag, from which a dollar sign and numerals in intermittent electric lights wink out the incredible prices. The same in the furriers. Rich furs of all varieties hang there, bathed in a downpour of artificial light. The general effect is of a background of magnificence, cheapened and made grotesque by commercialism, a background in tawdry disharmony with the clear light and sunshine on the street itself. Up the side street, Yank and Long come swaggering. Long is dressed in shore clothes, wears a black Windsor tie, cloth cap. Yank is in his dirty dungarees. A fireman's cap with black peak is cocked defiantly on the side of his head. He has not shaved for days, and around his fierce, resentful eyes, as around those of Long to a lesser degree, the black smudge of coal dust still sticks like makeup. They hesitate and stand together at the corner, swaggering, looking about them with a forced, defiant contempt. Long, indicating it all with an oratorical gesture. Well, 'ere we are, Fifth Avenue. This 'ere's their bleedin' private lane, as yer might say. Bitterly. Yanka dully. I don't see no grass, ya boob. All but staring at the sidewalk. Could stand at the sidewalk. Clean, ain't it? Ya could eat a fried egg off'n it. The white wings got some job sweepin' dis up. Looking up and down the avenue, surlily. Where's all the white-collar stiffs ya said was here, and de scoits, her kind? Long, in church, blarst 'em, arskin Jesus to give 'em more money. Yank choich, huh? I yesserder go to choich ont to shore, when I was a kid. Me old man and woman, dey made me. Dey never went themselves, dough, always got too big a head on Sunday morning, dat was dem. It with a grin. On Saturday nights when dey bots got a skinful, dey could put up about oughter been staged at de garden. When dey got trough, dere wasn't a chair or table wid a leg under it, or else dey bots jumped on me for sompin'. Dat was where I loined to take punishment, with a grin and a swagger. I'm a chip off'n they old block, get me? Long, did your old man follow the sea? Yank, naw. Worked along shore. I runned away when me old lady croaked, wit de tremens. I helped at truckin' and in de market. Den I shipped into Stokehole. Sure, dat belongs. The rest was nothin'. Looking around him. So I ain't never seen dis before. De Brooklyn waterfront. Dat was where I was dragged up. Soppy and nailed beversine, for endy a man. Long, not bad. Well, we pays for it, wive our bloody sweat, if yer wants to know. Yankee, with sudden angry disgust. Oh, hell. I don't see no one, see, like her. All dis gives me a pain. It don't belong. Say, ain't dere a back room around dis dump? Let's go shoot a ball. All dis is too clean and quiet and dolled up, get me. It gives me a pain. Long wait and yer'll bloody well see. Yank, I don't wait for no one. I keep on de move. Say, what ya drag me up here for anyway? Tryin' to kid me, ya simp, ya? Long year wants to get back at her, don't yer? That's what yer been saying every bloomin' hour since she insulted yer. Yank, vehemently. Sue ting I do. Didn't I try to get even wid her in Southampton? Didn't I sneak on de dock and wait for her by de gangplank? I was going to spit in her pale mug, see? Sure, right in her pop eyes. Dat woulda made me even, see? But no chanced. Action. There was a whole army of plainclothes bulls around. Dey spotted me and gimme de bums rush. I never seen her, but I'll get square wid her yet, you watch. Furiously, stubbu de loozy tart. She thinks she kin get away wid moiter, but not wid me. I'll fix her. I'll think of a way. Long. As disgusted as he dares to be. Ain't that why I brought yer up here, to show yer? Yer been lookin' at this 'ere ole affair wrong. Yer been actin' and talkin's if it was all a bleedin' personal matter between yer and that bloody cow. I wants to convince yer she was only a representative of her Claire's. I wants to awaken your bloody Claire's consciousness. Then yer'll see it's her Claire's yer've got to fight, not 'er alone. There's a 'ole mob of 'em like her. God blind 'em. Yank, spitting on his hands, belligerently. Or de more de merrier when I get started. Actii, bring on de gang. Long yer'll see 'em in Arfa Mo when that church lets out. He turns and sees the window display in the two stores for the first time. Blam, blama, overall is, look at that, will yer? And they both walk back and stand looking in the jewelers. Look at the bleedin' prices on 'em. More'n our old bloody Stockholm makes in 10 voyages sweatin' an L, and they, fur and her bloody Claire's, buys 'em for toys to dangle on 'em. One of these air would buy scoff for a starvin' family for a year. Yank, cut the sob stuff. To hell with the starvin' family, ye'll be passin' the hat to me next. With naive admiration. Say, dem tings is pretty, huh? Bet ye dey'd hock for a piece of change, all right. Then turning away, bored. With a gesture of sweeping the jewelers into oblivion. Operdie, all dat don't count, get me? Long funged, who is moved to the furriers, indignantly, and I suppose this air don't count neither. Skins of poor, armless animals slaughtered so as and theirs can keep their bleedin' noses warm. Yank, who has been staring at something inside, with queer excitement. Section, take a slant at dat, give it de once over, monkey fur, $2,000, bewilderedly, 80 dot straight, goods is that straight goods, monkey fur? Long bitterly, she, i.e., it's straight enough. With grim humor, N.K. With grim humor, IBPU, they wouldn't bloody well pay that for a airy ape skin, no, nor for the old livin' ape with all his head, and body, and soul thrown in. Yank, clenching his fists, his face growing pale with rage, as if the skin in the window were a personal insult. Trowin' it up in my face. Christ, I'll fix her. Long, excitedly, Statures is out. First day, Church is out. Statures wine. Ere they come, Statures, wine Statures wine. Opening Came's lowering face, uneasily, easily goes, comrade. White jeans came Statures, alway boning temper. Remember, force defeats itself. It ain't our weapon. We must impress our demands through peaceful means, the votes of the on-marching proletarians of the bloody world. Yank, with abysmal contempt, Esther Dyer. Votes, hell. Votes is a joke, see? Votes for women. Let dem do it. Long, still more uneasily, except er sate, well bed, well first overcon now. All ved die guy, except er stein from the bread dar, treat 'em, except, observe the bleedin' parasites, but hold your horses. Yank, all, seriate, call, angrily, get away from me, yea, yellow, dat's what, force, dat's me, de punch, dat's me, every time, see. The women are rouged, calcimined, dyed, overdressed to the nth degree. The men are in Prince Albert's, high hats, spats, canes, etc. A procession of gaudy marionettes, yet with something of the relentless horror of Frankenstein's in their detached, mechanical unawareness. Voices. Dear Dr. Caiaphas, he is so sincere. What was the sermon? I dozed off. About the radicals, my dear, and the false doctrines that are being preached. We must organize 100% American Bazaar, and let everyone contribute 100% of their income tax. What an original idea! We can devote the proceeds to rehabilitating the veil of the temple. But that has been done so many times. Yank, glaring from one to the other of them, with an insulting snort of scorn. Huh, Hugh. You. Without seeming to see him, they make wide detours to avoid the spot where he stands in the middle of the sidewalk. Long, frightenedly, if-ish, keep your bloomin' mouth shut, I tells yer. Yank, viciously. Agwan, tell it to Sweeney. He swaggers away and deliberately lurches into a top-hatted gentleman, then glares at him pugnaciously. Say, who do you tink you're bumpin'? Tink ya on the oath. Gentleman, coldly and affectedly, I beg your pardon, is stopped. I beg your pardon, he has not looked at Yank and passes on without a glance, leaving him bewildered. Long, rushing up and grabbing Yank's arm. Emini my R, a lay sign A, or, come away. This wasn't what I meant. Ye'll have the bloody coppers down on us. Yank, savagely, giving him a push that sends him sprawling. Ortaquan. Longa picks himself up hysterically. I'll pop orf then. This ain't what I meant, and whatever happens, yer can't blame me. Yankee see hell which yous. He approaches a lady, with a vicious grin and a smirking wink. Hello, kiddo. How's every little ting? Got anything on for tonight? I know an old boiler down to de docks we can crawl into. The lady stalks by without a look, without a change of pace. Yank turns to others. See, holy smokes, what a mug. Go hide yourself before the horses shy at ya. Gee, pipe de hiney on dat one. Say yous, ya. Look like the stowing of a ferry boat. All dolled up to kill. What a mug. Go on, dolled up to kill. Look at me. Why don't yous dare? I belong, that's me, pointing to a skyscraper across the street which is in process of construction, with bravado. See that building going up there? See the steel work? Steel, that's me. I'm at D inside and bottom of it. Sure, I'm steel and steam and smoke and the rest of it. It moves, speed, 25 stories up, and me at the top and bottom, movin'. You simps don't move, you're only dolls I winds up to see 'em spin. You're de garbage, get me, de leavin's, de ashes we dump over de side. Now, what'a ya gotta say? But as they seem neither to see nor hear him, he flies into a fury. They bums, pigs, tarts, bitches. He turns in a rage on the men, bumping viciously into them, but not jarring them the least bit. Rather, it is he who recoils after each collision. He keeps growling. Look where you're going, can't ya? Get out of here. Fight, why don't ya? Put up your mitts. Don't be a dog. Fight or I'll knock ya dead. But, without seeming to see him, they all answer with mechanical affected politeness. I beg your pardon. The woman, ecstatically, with a gasp of delight. All monkey fur. And stats, for done. All monkey fur. The whole crowd of men and women chorus after her in the same tone of affected delight. And stats, monkey fur. Yank, with a jerk of his head back on his shoulders, as if he had received a punch full in the face, raging. I see ya all in white. I see ya white. I see ya white face tart. Ya. Hairy ape, huh? Foiled in this, snarling with passion, he leaps to the lamppost on the corner and tries to pull it up for a club. Just at that moment, a bus is heard rumbling up. A fat, high-hatted, spatted gentleman runs out from the side street. He calls out plaintively, and runs full tilt into the bending, straining Yank, who is bowled off his balance. Seeing a fight, with a roar of joy as he springs to his feet. At last. I'll last. Bus, huh? I'll bust ya. He lets drive a terrific swing, his fist landing full on the fat gentleman's face. But the gentleman stands unmoved as if nothing had happened. Gentlemen, I beg your pardon. Then irritably, you have made me lose my bus. The crowd at the window have not moved or noticed this disturbance. The clanging gong of the patrol wagon approaches with a clamoring din. Oz. 2nd. Scene vi. Scene. Night of the following day. A row of cells in the prison on Blackwell's Island. The cells extend back diagonally from right front to left rear. They do not stop, but disappear in the dark background as if they ran on, numberless, into infinity. One electric bulb from the low ceiling of the narrow corridor sheds its light through the heavy steel bars of the cell at the extreme front and reveals part of the interior. Yank can be seen within, crouched on the edge of his cot in the attitude of Rodin's The Thinker. His face is spotted with black and blue bruises. A blood-stained bandage is wrapped around his head. Yank, suddenly starting as if awakening from a dream, reaches out and shakes the bars, aloud to himself, wonderingly. Steel. 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 Steez is the zoo, huh? Voices, mockingly. The zoo? That's a new name for this co-op. A damn good name. Steel, eh? You said a mouthful. This is the old iron house. Who is that boob talkin'? He's the bloke they brung in out of his head. Yank tay dully. I must have been dreamin'. I thought I was in a cage at the zoo, but they apes don't talk, do they? Voices, with mocking laughter. Wall. Oh. You're in a cage, all right. A coop. A pen. A sty. A kennel, hard laughter. A pause. Say, Guy, who are you? No, never mind lying. What are you? Yes, tell us your sad story. What's your game? What did they jug ya for? Yank, stolly. I was a fireman, stokin' on de liners. Oh, de liners, extend, thousand chest, rattling his cell bars. I'm a hairy ape, get me? And I'll bust yous all in de jaw if you don't lay off kiddin' me. Voices. Huh, you're a hard-boiled duck, ain't you? When you spit, it bounces. Per semper for. Aw, can it? He's a regular guy, ain't you? What did he say he was? A ape? Yank, slia, defiantly. All for two, and sure ting, ain't dat what yous all are, apes? The motion, a silence. Then a furious rattling of bars from down the corridor. Surely. A voice, thick with rage. I'll show ya who's a ape, ya bum. Voices, shh, nix. Can de noise. Piano. You'll have the guard down on us. Yank, scornfully. 1-9, de guard, 90 May, ya, mean de keeper, don't ya? Angry exclamations from all the cells. Summer, Timon, hum. Boyce, spracketingly. Don't pay no attention to him. He's off his nut from the beaten up he got. Say you guy, we're waitin' to hear what they landed you for, or ain't you tellin'? Yank, sure, I'll tell yous. Sure, why the hell not? Only, yous won't get me. Nobody gets me but me, see? I started to tell the judge, and all he says was, 40 days to think it over. Think it over, Christ, that's all I been doin' for weeks. Voices, cynically, all cynically, der old stuff I bet. You're Goyle, huh? Give ya the double cross, huh? That's them every time. Did ya beat up de otter guy? Yank, disgustedly. Ya all wrong. Sure dere was a scoid in it, but not what yous mean, not dat old tripe. Dis was a new kind of scout. She was dolled up all in white and de Stockhole. Voices, whispering, cool, ID, still nutty, so we still nutty. Let him rave, it's fun listening. Yank, unheeding, groping in his thoughts. Her hands, white like they was skinny and white, like they wasn't real but painted on something. Or, beer was a million miles from me, to her, 25 knots a hour. She was like some dead ting de cat brung in. Sure, that's what. She didn't belong. She belonged in the window of a toy store, or on the top of a garbage can, see? Sure, she breaks out angrily. But would ya believe it? She had the noivey to do me doit. She lamped me like she was seein' someone broke loose from the menagerie. Christ, you'd oughter seen her eyes. But I'll get back at her yet. You watch. And if I can't find her, I'll take it out on the gang she runs wit. I'm wise to where they hangs out now. I'll show her who belongs. I'll show her who's in the move and who ain't. You watch my smoke. Voices, serious and joking. Dade, I, obel to, that's the talkin'. Take her for all she's got. What was this dame anyway? Who was she, Yank? I dunno. First cabin stiff. Her old man's a millionaire, they says. Name of Douglas. Voices, Douglas. That's the president of the Steel Trust, I bet. Sure, I seen his mug in the papers. He's filthy with dough. Voice, hey feller, take a tip from me. If you want to get back at that dame, you better join the Wobblies. You'll get some action then. Yank Wobblies? What the hell's that? Voice, ain't you ever heard of the IWWW? Yankana, what is it? Voice, a gang of blokes, a tough gang. I've been readin' about 'em today in the paper. The guard give me the Sunday Times. There's a long spiel about 'em. It's from a speech made in the Senate by a guy named Senator Queen, and he is in the cell next to YNKs. There is a rustling of paper. AG wait, a levers work about 1, and protectors is $C if I got light enough and I'll read you. Listen, AG she, he reads. NZG she 17 noting 6 existing in this country today, which threatens the vitals of our fair republic. As foul a menace against the very lifeblood of the American eagle, as was the foul conspiracy of Catiline against the eagles of ancient Rome. Voiced disgustedly, "Aw hell, tell 'em to salt the tail of .eagle." Voice, reading, I refer to that devil's brew of rascals, jailbirds, murderers, and cutthroats, who libel all honest working men by calling themselves the industrial workers of the world, but in the light of their nefarious plots, I call them the industrious wreckers of the world. Yank, with vengeful satisfaction, first a brighter, wreckers, dat's the right dope. Dat belongs. Me for dem. Voice, sish, reading. Abyss is reading. This fiendish organization is a foul ulcer on the fair body of our democracy. Voice, democracy hell. Give him the Boyd fellers, the raspberry, extra 9. They do. Voice, shh, Reading, like Cato, and Sophie 178, all like to this Senate. The IWW must be destroyed. For they represent an ever-present dagger, pointed at the heart of the greatest nation the world has ever known, where all men are born free and equal, with equal opportunities to all, where the founding fathers have guaranteed to each one happiness, where truth, honor, liberty, justice, and the brotherhood of man are a religion absorbed with one's mother's milk, taught at our Father's knee, sealed, signed, and stamped upon in the glorious Constitution of these United States. Voices, scornfully, his Ra for the 4th of July, or Ra for the 4th of July. Pastehat. Liberty. Justice. Honor. Opportunity. Brotherhood. All. With abysmal scorn. All hell. L. Voice. Give that Queen Senator guy the bark. All together now, 1, 2, 3. A terrific chorus of barking and yapping. Guard, from a distance. Tracture, from a distance. Tracture 40s and portabraids, YE, or I'll get the hose. Tracture ride. Or, shod. Yankee, with growling rage. I'd like to catch that senator guy alone for a second. I'd loin him some trut. Voice. Shh. Here's where he gets down to cases on the wobblies. All raw. All red. Avalides. Reeds. They plot with fire in one hand and dynamite in the other. They stop not before murder to gain their ends, nor at the outraging of defenseless womanhood. They would tear down society, put the lowest scum in the seats of the mighty, turn Almighty God's revealed plan for the world topsy-turvy, and make of our sweet and lovely civilization a shambles, a desolation where man, God's masterpiece, would soon degenerate back to the ape. Voice 7-2, Yank, I hey you guy, over where he does where 5 Devon T. There's your ape stuff again. Yankee, with a growl of fury, I got him. So dey blow up tings, duty I? Dey turn tings round, duty I? Hey, lend me da paper, will ya? Voice, sure, give it to him. Only keep it to yourself, see? We don't want to listen to no more of that slop. Voice, here you are, hide it under your mattress. Yank, reaching out, all WI7, tanks. I can't read much, but I can manage. He sits, the paper in the hand at his side, in the attitude of Rodin's one strayed. A pause. 4. Sure. Her old man, president of de Steel Trust, makes half de steel in de world. Steel, where I taught I belonged, drivin' true, movin', in dat, to make her and cage me in for her to spit on. Christ, he shakes the bars of his cell door till the whole tier trembles. Irritated, protesting exclamations from those awakened or trying to get to sleep. He made dis cage, steel, it don't belong, that's what. Hages, cells, locks, bolts, bars, that's what it means. Holdin' me down wid him at the top, but I'll drive true. Fire, dat melts it. I'll be fire. Under de heap a fire dat never goes out, hot as hell, breaking out in de night. In de night, a while he has been saying this last, he has shaken his cell door to a clanging accompaniment. As he comes to the breaking out, he seizes one bar with both hands and, putting his 2 feet up against the others so that his position is parallel to the floor like a monkey's, he gives a great wrench backwards. Just at this moment, the prison guard rushes in, dragging a hose behind him. Guard, angrily, I'll loin yous bums to wake me up, sees Yank. He's Yank, hello, it's you, huh? Got the DTS, hey? Well, I'll cure 'em. I'll drown your snakes for, ya. Noticing the bar. Ya. Ooh. Yank, glaring at him. Or a hairy ape, ya big yellow bum, look out, here I come. He grabs another bar. Guard, scared now, yelling off left, toined to Husan Ben, full pressure, and called the others, and a straitjacket. The curtain is falling. N.T. curtain. Scene, Vi. Scene. Nearly a month later, an IWW local, near the waterfront, showing the interior of a front room on the ground floor, and the street outside. Moonlight on the narrow street, buildings massed in black shadow. The interior of the room, which is General Assembly Room, office, and reading room, resembles some dingy settlement boys' club. A desk and high stool are in one corner. A table with papers, stacks of pamphlets, chairs about it, is at center. The whole is decidedly cheap, banal, commonplace, and unmysterious as a room could well be. The secretary is perched on the stool making entries in a large ledger. An eye shade cast his face into shadows. 8 or 10 men, longshoremen, ironworkers, and the like, are grouped about the table. 2 are playing checkers. 1 is writing a letter. Most of them are smoking pipes. A big signboard is on the wall at the rear. Industrial Workers of the World, Local Number 57. Yank, sigh, comes down the street outside. He is dressed as in Scene 5. He moves cautiously, mysteriously. He comes to a point opposite the door, tiptoes softly up to it, listens, is impressed by the silence within, knocks carefully, as if he were guessing at the password to some secret rite. Listens. Knocks again a bit louder. No answer. Knocks impatiently, much louder. Secretary. Turning around on his stool. What the devil is that? Someone knocking. Shouts. Shouts. W's. Also used W's. All barrels. All the men in the room look up. Yank opens the door slowly, gingerly, as if afraid of an ambush. He looks around for secret doors. Mystery, is taken aback by the commonplaceness of the room and the men in it. Thinks he may have gotten in the wrong place, then sees the signboard on the wall and is reassured. Yanka blurts out, hello. Hello. Men, shradedly, signal, hello. Yank, opened aller, more easily. I thought I'd bumped into the wrong dump. Secretary, scrutinizing him carefully. Oh, maybe you have. Are you a member? Yank, no, not yet. That's what I come for. To join? Secretary, that's easy. What's your job? Longshore. Yank, no. Fireman stoker on the liners. Secretary, is DeBella, with satisfaction. Welcome to our city. Work. Les Langpoint. Wurrow. Lengo. John. 4. IF. Ich waited metas 32, it worst to give her to W, a point does, it were starty designing gland, with secretary. Yank, nah. They're all dead to de wild. Secretary. Well, you can help to wake 'em. What's your name? I'll make out your card. Yank, say state. Confused, or name, lemme think. Secretary, sharply, don't you know your own name? Yank, sure, but I been just Yank for so long. Bob, that's it. Bob Smith. Secretary Ridding, Jine, Robert Smith. I.W., Robert Smith. Dine fills out the rest of card. Here you are, cost you $50. Yank, is dat all 4 bits? That's easy. C gives the secretary the money. Oh, swell. Secretary, throwing it in drawer. IW5. Sex. Well, make yourself at home. No introductions needed. There's literature on the table. Take some of those pamphlets with you to distribute aboard ship. They may bring results. Sow the seed, only go about it right. Don't get caught and fired. We got plenty out of work. Equal. What we need is men who can hold their jobs and work for us at the same time. Yank. Sure. But he still stands, embarrassed and uneasy. Secretary. Looking at him, curiously. What did you knock for? Think we had a coon in uniform to open doors. Yank, naw. I thought it was locked, and that you'd wanter give me the once-over true a peephole or something to see if I was right. Secretary, and, suspicious, but with an easy laugh. Why, 460. Easty sis ensure, 460 his visits then sure t, IP, I done. That door is never locked. What put that in your nut? Yank, with a knowing grin, convinced that this is all camouflage, a part of the secrecy. Extradaughters was Munbalties, what is improvisin'? Secretary, sharply, is sharply, what have the cops got to do with us? We're breaking no laws. Yanka, with a knowing wink, say sure. All wildsy sure, use wouldn't for wildsy sure, I'm wise to dat. Secretary, you seem to be wise to a lot of stuff none of us knows about. Yank, with another wink. Aw, that's all right, see? Then made a bit resentful by the suspicious glances from all sides. Aw, can it? Yous needn't put me true de toy degree. Can yous see I belong? Sure, I'm reg'lar. I'll stick. Get me. I'll shoot de walks for yous. That's why I wanted to join in. Secretary, Steeperl, breezily, feeling him out. And that's the right spirit. Only are you sure you understand what you've joined? It's all plain and above board. Still, some guys get a wrong slant on us. Or Steeperl level, serverly. And, sharply, what's your notion of the purpose of the IW? Yank, aw, I know all about it. Secretary, sarcastically, well, give us some of your valuable information. Yank, 6-8 it. I know enough not to speak out of my torn. All, then resentfully again. I'll say, I'm reg'lar. I'm wise to the game. I know you got to watch your step with a stranger. For all yous know, I might be a plainclothes dick or something. That's what you're tinkin', huh? I'll forget it. I belong, see? Ask any guy down to the docks if I don't. Secretary, who said you didn't? Yank, after I'm initiated, I'll show ya. Secretary, astounded. I initiated. Initiated? There's no initiation. Or probably 2 W's. Probably ston. Yank, disappointed. But ain't there no password? No grip nor nothin'. Secretary, what you think this is? The Elks or the Black Hand? Yank, de Elks, hell. De Black Hand, der a lot of yellow backstickin' Janese. Naw, dis is a man's gang, ain't it? Secretary, you said it. That's why we stand on our 2 feet in the open. We got no secrets. Yank, surprised but admiringly. One le, tryst. One le, always run wide open, like dis. Secretary, exactly. Yank den, you sure got your noive wit use. Secretary, sharply, oh, just what was it made you want to join us? Come out with that straight. Yank ya call me. Well, I got noive too. Here's my hand. All wanter blow tings up, don't ya? Well, that's me. I belong. Secretary, with pretended carelessness. Waroo. You mean change the unequal conditions of society by legitimate direct action, or with dynamite? Yank dynamite. Blow it offend de oith. Steal. All the cages. All the factories, steamers, buildings, jails. The steel trust and all that makes it go. Secretary. So, that's your idea, eh? And did you have any special job in that line you wanted to propose to us? Yank said boldly, I'll come out with it. I'll come out with it. I'll show you I'm one of the gang. Activist that millionaire guy Douglas. Secretary, president of the Steel Trust, you mean. Do you want to assassinate him? Yank, nah, dat don't get you nothin'. I mean blow up de factory, de walks, where he makes de steel. Dat's what I'm after, to blow up de steel, knock all de steel in de wild up to de moon. Dat'll fix tings. Eagerly, with a touch of bravado, I'll do it by me lonesome. I'll show ya. Tell me where his wolks is, how to get there, all de dope. Gimme de stuff, de old butter, and watch me do de rest. Watch de smoke, and see it move. I don't give a damn if de nab me. Long as it's done, I'll save life for it. And give 'em the laugh. And I'll write her a letter, and tell her, de hairy ape done it. Aster, doddle square tings. Secretary, stepping away from Yank. Over very interesting. He gives a signal. The men, huskies all, throw themselves on Yank, and before he knows it, they have his legs and arms pinioned. But he is too flabbergasted to make a struggle anyway. They feel him over for weapons. Man, no gat, no knife. Shall we give him what's what and put the boots to him? Secretary, no, he isn't worth the trouble we get into. He's too stupid. He comes closer and laughs mockingly in Yank's face. Ho ho, by God, this is the biggest joke they've put up on us yet. Hey you joke. Who sent you? Burns or Pinkerton? No, by God, you're such a bonehead, I'll bet you're in the Secret Service. Well, you dirty spy, you rotten agent provocateur, you can go back and tell whatever skunk is paying you blood money for betraying your brothers that he's wasting his coin. And tell him that all he'll ever get on us, or ever has got, is just his own sneaking plots that he's framed up to put us in jail. We are what our manifesto says we are, neither more or less. And we'll give him a copy of that any time he calls. And as for you, first the Gestivus, he glares scornfully at Yank, who is sunk in an oblivious stupor. Oh hell, what's the use of talking? You're a brainless ape. Yank, aroused by the word to fierce but futile struggles. Oh, what's dat? What's dat? Ya, sheeny bum, ya. Secretary, throw him out, boys. In spite of his struggles, this is done with gusto and éclat. Propelled by several parting kicks, Yank lands sprawling in the middle of the narrow cobbled street. With a growl, he starts to get up and storm the closed door, but stops bewildered by the confusion in his brain. Pathetically impotent, he sits there, brooding, in as near to the attitude of Rodin's thinker as he can get in his position. Yanka bitterly, so dem boys don't think I belong neither. Aw, to hell with 'em. Dere in de wrong pew, de same old bull. Soapboxes and Salvation Army, no guts. Cut out an hour offended job a day, and make me happy. Gimme $1 more a day and make me happy. Tree square a day, and cauliflowers in de front yard, a call rights, a woman and kids, a lousy vote. And I'm all fixed for Jesus, huh? Aw hell, what does dat get ya? Dis ting's in your inside, but it ain't your belly. Feet in your face, sinkers and coffee. Dat don't touch it, it's way down, at the bottom. Can't grab it, and ya can't stop it. It moves, and everything moves. It stops, and the whole wild stops. Dat's me now. I don't tick, see? I'm a busted Ingersoll, dat's what. Steele was me, and I owned a wild. Now I ain't Steele, and a wild owns me. All hell, I can't see. It's all dark, get me? A turns a bitter mocking face up like an ape gibbering at the moon. Say, you's up dere, man in de moon, ya. Look so wise, gimme day answer, huh? Slip me day inside dope, day information right from de stable. Where do I get off at, huh? A policeman, who has come up the street in time to hear this last, with grim humor. You'll get off at the station, you boob, if you don't get up out of that and keep movin'. Yank, looking up at him, with a hard, bitter laugh. Sue, oh, Bry Sue, oh, Bry Sewer, lock me up, put me in a cage. Bry Sue for, Bry Sue Rizu, no, Vrysu, policeman, what you been doin'? Yank, enough to gimme life for. I was born, see? Sure, dat's the charge. Write it in de blotter. I was born, get me. Policeman, jocosely, God pity your old woman. And then matter of fact, but I've no time for kidding. You're soused. I'd run you in, but it's too long a walk to the station. Come on now, get up or I'll fan your ears with this club. Beat it now. Yank, in a vague, mocking tone. Sir, say, where do I go from here? Policeman, giving him a push, with a grin, indifferently. Robbers, short. Wade, go to hell. As a 9, CAA, sword, ass. All the most, perfects, all the most, as a 9. Scene, VI. Scene. Twilight of the next day, the monkey house at the zoo. One spot of clear gray light falls on the front of one cage so that the interior can be seen. The other cages are vague, shrouded in shadow, from which chatterings pitched in a conversational tone can be heard. On the one cage, a sign from which the word gorilla stands out. The gigantic animal himself is seen squatting on his haunches on a bench, in much the same attitude as Rodin's thinker. Yank enters from the left. Immediately a chorus of angry chattering and screeching breaks out. The gorilla turns his eyes, but makes no sound or move. Yank, with a hard, bitter laugh. "Welcome to your city, huh? Hail, hail, the gang's all here." There is a pause of dead stillness. Then Yank begins to talk in a friendly, confidential tone, half mockingly, but with a deep undercurrent of sympathy. HGCCCCCs, WHGCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCC she zines to tuck in a friendly and on. I dead venta sabanices. Or I thinks they gainaz, where is hers? Some chest you got, and shoulders, and dem arms and mitts. I bet you got a punch in either fist that'd knock 'em all silly. This with genuine admiration. Ya challenged the whole world, huh? Ya got what I was sayin' even if ya muffed the words. Or two, then bitterness creeping in. Why wouldn't ya get me? Ain't we both members of the same club? The Hairy Apes? Or 2R2RE Apes? Or 2R2, quote, Epauls? Asked then Jenk goes on slowly and bitterly. Sash, so you're what she seen when she looked at me, the white-faced tart. I was you to her, get me. Ony outer the cage. Broke out. Free to moiter her, see? Sure. That's what she taught. She wasn't wise dat. I was in a cage, too. Worser'n yours, sure. A damn sight. 'Cause you got some chant to bust loose. Aid. All hell. It's all wrong, ain't it? Pause. I s'pose ya wanna know what I'm doing here, huh? I been warmin' a bench down to the battery ever since last night, sure. I seen the sun come up. That was pretty too, all red and pink and green. I was lookin' at the skyscrapers, steel, and all the ships comin' in, sailin' out, all over the oith. And day was steel too. The sun was warm, day wasn't no clouds, and there was a breeze blowin'. Sure, it was great stuff. I got it all right. What Patty said about dat bein' the right dope. Only I couldn't get in it, see? I couldn't belong in dat. It was over my head. And I kept tinkin', and den I beat it up here to see what yous was like. And I waited till day was all gone to git ya alone. Say, how'd you feel sittin' in dat pen all the time, havin' to stand for 'em comin' and starin' at ya? The white-faced, skinny tarts and the boobs what marry 'em, makin' fun of ya, laughin' at ya, gettin' scared of ya, damn 'em. He pounds on the rail with his fist. The gorilla rattles the bars of his cage and snarls. All the other monkeys set up an angry chattering in the darkness. Yank goes on excitedly. Sure, that's the way it hits me too. Only you're lucky, see? Ya don't belong with 'em, and ya know it. But me, I belong with 'em, but I don't, see? They don't belong with me, that's what. Get me? Tinkin' is hard. He passes one hand across his forehead with a painful gesture. The gorilla growls impatiently. Yank goes on gropingly. See, it's this way, what I'm drivin' at. All yous can sit and dope dream in the past, green woods, the jungle and the rest of it. All you stayin', you belong and the rest of it. All you stayin', you're the champ of the wild. But me, I ain't got no past to tinkin' nor nothin' dat's comin', only what's now. And dat don't belong. Sure, you're the best off. Ya can't tink, can ya? Ya can't talk neither. But I can make a bluff at talkin' and tinkin', a'most get away wid it, a'most, and that's where the joker comes in. Sax, he laughs. I ain't on earth and I ain't in heaven, get me? I'm in the middle tryin' to separate 'em, takin' all the whist punches from bottom of 'em. Maybe that's what they call hell, huh? But you're at the bottom. You belong, sure. You're the only one in the wild that does. Ya lucky stiff. And that's why the gotter put ya in a cage, see? The gorilla roars angrily. Sure, ya get me. It beats it when you try to tink it or talk it. It's way down deep, behind you and me, we feel it. Sure, bot members of this club. Why he laughs. Why he laughs. Then in a savage tone, what the hell? What? What the hell? What? Huh? Huh? Dot belongs. Knock 'em down and keep bustin' 'em till they croaks. Ya wit a gat, wit steel. Sure, are ya game? They've looked at yous, ain't they? In a cage? Wanter get even? Wanter wind up like a sport stead of croakin' slow and dare. Sure. Yeah, reg'lar. Yeah, he'll stick to the finish. Me and you, huh? Bot members of this club. We'll put up one last star bout. That'll knock 'em off in their seats. They'll have to make the cadges stronger after we're true. Yank takes a jimmy from under his coat and forces the lock on the cage door. Open baggage, he throws this open. Open baggage. One baggage from the governor. Step out and shake hands. I'll take ya for a walk down Fifth Avenue. We'll knock 'em offend de oith and croak wit, the band playin'. Come on, brother. Goes to Yank and stands looking at him. Yank keeps his mocking tone, holds out his hand. Shake the secret grip of our order. Something. The tone of mockery, perhaps, suddenly enrages the animal. With a spring, he wraps his huge arms around Yank in a murderous hug. There is a crackling snap of crushed ribs, a gasping cry, still mocking, from Yank. A great uproar of frightened chattering and whimpering comes from the other cages. Then Yank moves, groaning, opening his eyes, and there is silence. He mutters painfully. See, Christ, where do I get off at? Where do I fit in? Checking himself as suddenly. What the hell? No squakin', see? No quittin', get me. Croak wit your boots on. He grabs hold of the bars of the cage and hauls himself painfully to his feet. Looks around him bewilderedly. Forces a mocking laugh. In the strident tones of a circus barker, ladies and gents step forward and take a slant at the one and only. All bast her J, his voice weakening one and original. Hairy ape from the wilds of all bast her che, whiz men, nigher. A member J, and dies. The monkey set up a chattering, whimpering wail. And, perhaps, the hairy ape at last belongs. 8 a.m., the second hour in Curtin. Thanks for listening to The Hairy Ape by Eugene O'Neill.